Hey, what's up? I'm Fede, and today I'm going to show you how to code a simple Streamlit app and publish your project. Okay, the first thing that we had to do is to create a new repo. So let's go here to new. Just call it Streamlit demo. You can put a description if you want, a README file. And then here you can select Python. Oh, well, it's not necessarily a license for now. So let's create our repo, and now we have to clone it. Let's go and clone the repository here, the path. Okay, so let's go here. I will use just Python for this, so let's create a new environment using, let's call it VM just, and now let's activate the environment and install Streamlit. Okay, so once this ends, we can open Visual Studio Code and start coding our app. Let's open the project, and we can create our first file that can be home.py, and here we can import Streamlit as st, and we can write something like my first app. We can also create a divider here, for example. And just like this, we can create we can open a terminal and run streamlit run home.py. This will use the port 8500 by default, and as you can see, we have our first app here. So, well, that's pretty basic and pretty easy too. So the next thing will be how to create a multi-page app. In the past, creating a multi-page app was much more complicated because you have to use a drop-down and redirect the value of the key that you select in the drop-down to another URL. But now it's much more easy because you just have to create a folder here that will be pages, and inside here you can create your pages. One thing is that our convention is to put the number of the page, the first part. I like also to put some emojis to these pages, and then you can put my first page.py, and we can create another one and run, for example, this would be the second page. Let's put another emoji, for example, this one, and run my second page.py. So here we can import Streamlit as st and run something like sd header or title, my first page, and in the second page we can do the same, paste it here, second page. If we just save it here in the Safari, we can see the changes because it has like a debug mode, and all the changes that I'm doing in Visual Studio Code are reflected here. So as you can see, my first page, my second page is very easy. This home is without any icon, but I can add one now. So if I want to add one icon here, just add a new icon like this. Let's put a rocket there, save, and if we refresh, now we're going to see that we have our rocket in the home page. So, well, no. it wasn't possible because I changed the name of the file. That's an interesting thing. Now, if I want to run it again, I have to use Streamlit run, and the file has a rocket in the prefix, so well, that's why it wasn't working. So well, now we have our rocket, our first page, and our second page. It's time now to add some style to our page, so the easiest way is to go here to settings, and we can activate, for example, the white mode. Well, you see that now the title is, all the pages are white. Another thing that we can do is to change, for example, the theme, dark, light, or well, like the system. If you want to do this, but instead of doing just clicking here on settings and changing this configuration, you can do it inside the same app. So for that, we're going to, here in the home page, we're going to add a new variable, app title, for example. This will be Streamlit tutorial, and we can use st.set page config, and here you can see that we have page title, page icon, and layout. These are the things that we are going to use. Page title will be this app title. Page icon, here we can do something like, for example, this eagle, and the layout will be white. So well, with that, if we save, we are going to see the changes now. Yeah, so now we have this white, here it says Streamlit tutorial, and this home, my first page and my second page. The icon is the same, but I think that is a problem of Safari. Let's try to open this, for example, in Chrome. And okay, you can see that here we have the eagle, so it was a problem of Safari. Well, the next thing will be to add the dark theme. So in order to do that, I'm going to use one of the repos that I have to check the config. So here we can see that this ML bootcamp repo, we have this folder, .streamlit, and this config. So we can copy this directly and go to Visual Studio Code, add the new folder that will be .streamlit, and we have to add a new file that will be this config, and we can just paste this. So we're going to say like the theme will be dark and font monospace, and the server will be A501, like the default one, but we can change it. If you want, you can change the port that you are using. And this max upload size is if you are trying to, for example, upload a CSV to the app, you can create a button to do it. The Streamlit has built-in components to do that. You can change the size that you want to just allow the user to upload a file just up to that size. So if we save and we have to rerun the app, in this case, we're going to see now that our app, if we refresh, well, it's not working, I think. The problem is that I ran Streamlit, so this has to be Streamlit. That's why it wasn't working. So now we have to rerun the app, and now you can see that the app is the theme is dark now. Well, that's all about how to configure the style of your app. Now let's see how easy it is to add components to your Streamlit app. For this, I'm going to open a new tab and run Streamlit cheat sheet. So here I have this result. This cheat sheet is in the documentation of Streamlit. So you can go here and check all the reference that you have here. Is very, very easy because you have all the components here ready to use. So for example, we want to add one checkbox. So let's copy this and go to our application, and let's do it just in our home page. Let's say for Streamlit is easy, and let's just save it, go to our app, and check that we have our checkbox here. So with this, you can do a lot of things. You can add, for example, radio buttons. Let's copy this one. Let's copy this one and add one of these ones. Let's add also a text input, and let's add also a button here, like this one. And let's do like let's assign this to this variable, and now I'm going to show you why I assign this to this variable. So for example, this would be name, and this would be animal, and this would be is easy. Well, for now, let's save it, go to our application, let's refresh our app, and we can see that we have these radio buttons, this text box, well, this Streamlit is easy, and this button here. So now it's not functional because we didn't code any logic, but let's see how we can code something with this. So it's easy as if button. So let's write st.write, and let's say the name is, for example, name, and the animal is animal, and also write for the user Streamlit is easy. And I don't know if the checkbox is true or false, but let's try it. If is easy, write this. So well, now let's try in our application this one. Let's check Streamlit is easy. My first name is Federico, and I like cats. Well, let's click the button, and we can see that, oh, well, the problem is that I don't use the F strings, so I have to add this F here and try it again. Federico, and Streamlit is easy, so the name is Federico and the animal is cats. So well, that's how it works. If we now unselect this Streamlit is easy, we can see that now it's not printing that Streamlit is easy. And well, the last thing is that suppose that you want to create a menu here instead of doing just all the filters in the page. How you can do that is very easy. So now let's write st.sidebar.write, and let's add a divider because we have the pages. And let's now write st.sidebar, and we can add something here. For example, text input, saying something like my first text input in the sidebar. Okay, so now if we refresh, we can see that now we have the divider and the text input here, and obviously you can put a variable to capture the value that the user is using here. So well, that's all about components. The last part of this video is how to deploy your application. So that's very easy if you are using Streamlit to host your application. So let's go here and let's add all to GitHub and commit our changes. Tutorial pages, and now let's push that to GitHub. Now we can check that we have our code here in the main repository. One thing that I forgot to do is to freeze the requirements.txt, freeze the dependencies in a requirements.txt file, because the Streamlit will use those requirements, because if you are using other libraries, you will need them. So for that, let's run just pip freeze. This will show all the dependencies that you have in the environment. So pip freeze, and let's create this requirements.txt file. This requirements.txt will be used by Streamlit to install the dependencies. Now let's git add requirements.txt, git commit, let's see feed add requirement, and now let's push the changes. Now we should have this file here. Well, now we have all the things ready. The next thing will be running again our application. This one. So with this application, now we can go here and click in deploy this app. With this button, we can, instead of deploying this .git, remove this, and you will see that is pointing now to your repository, and just click here in deploy. Well, now it will deploy your app. It will give you a URL, and you can use this URL and share this application to. Oh, this isn't supposed to happen. Receiving no response from server. Okay, it was loading. So now your app is in the open. Here you can see what it's doing. Provisioning a machine, preparing the system. Well, now is the process that Streamlit will host your app. It will install the dependencies that it has in your requirements.txt file, and then you can use your app. In the meanwhile, while we are waiting this to be finished, we can check the app that we have for the ML bootcamp. So if I go here in the description, you can check the app, the Streamlit app for the bootcamp. And well, this is like for example, the homework one. Here I'm using request to get the information. Well, the versions, well, here we have all the responses. And also, well, here's the same for the homework 2. Here we have plotly chart. It's interactive. That's one of the cool things of using libraries like plotly. And well, let's see if our application is ready. Okay, now it's ready. So here we have our 2 pages, our home page, and well, we can try it's working. Well, that's all. The next thing that you can research about if you want, I created a Docker file. If you don't want to host your app using Streamlit, you can use a Docker file and create your image. Here you have a Docker file. So, well, it's obviously you have to change here the name of your file, and with that this image can work, and you can host Streamlit in another web provider, another cloud provider. With that you can do whatever you want. Well, I hope that this is helpful for you and you can start coding your Streamlit apps. Bye bye.